another installment in the DDG versus Reggie saga continues tonight. All right? We're going to sit back, grab our popcorn. We're going to react to it together, chat. All right? I'm saying the beef, man. This is great. You know, this is great. Great entertainment for all of us. I think I can speak for all of us when I say that we're thoroughly entertained. All right? Let's go ahead and see, though. Tylelo and Puga have ready to have Lil Rodney's sons back during his beef with DDG. Okay, first let's go ahead and RJ, I hope you watch and start the reaction right here, my good brother. All right, Reggie takes DDG beef an extra mile by bringing up the new pictures of Halle Bailey and her man circulating on the internet. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's check it out, man. Let's check it out. All right.
About me, gang, I ain't gonna lie, bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You gotta live with this shit for the rest of your life. Like, you gotta live with this for the rest of your life, man. The shade.
The shade room is the net, bro. The shade room is an abomination to black people. To the world. To the world. DDG situation aside. I don't ever want to hear no righteous about the black community from me ever in my life. Alright? Tear down black people on a daily basis. Like some weirdo.
I wanted to save I wanted to pop and I got my stream, mud. Where my mother W's in the chat, man. GG's whole boys from the city, man. So wrong.
Sorry, what? I thought y'all have to space down.
All this maybe it's all in my head myself. I'm cool on that shit. Here, there, bitch talking to dead bitch walking. I bet he end up with a earthquake. Heard that feel tap out shit up the worst way. Nappy lay at what I first say. Trying to let it be breathing. I'll stay on my back. You know, take out the room is turkey bait. I ain't regretting shit. Maybe they forgot how I get this color with smurf face. Real true niggas build up the rank. Everybody knows love in the city. When you say so, do what I say so. I couldn't rebound.
Our shooting ends right here. As far as, you know. Oh God. Because now it's really like, oh.
He said, do it for Craig. No, do it for Halo.
Come on, Craig. Oh, God damn. He said, do it for Halo.
No, do it for Halo. Wait, maybe this guy. This? Nah. You worried about me, gang. I ain't gonna lie, bro. You gotta live with this shit for them.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. I was gonna say that. When emergent.
I saw a video. There it was. This randomly popped up on my recommended.
All the things I know at 30, but I wish I knew in my 20s. I just turned 30, so here are all the things I know at 30, but I wish I knew in my 20s. Starting with number 1. Everything you want in life is on the other side of something that you don't want to do. Like the financial freedom you want is in the effort and work that you're avoiding. The body and the health you want is in the workouts and the healthy habits that you're skipping. The success that you've been wanting is in the actions and decisions that you avoid doing. Next, spend an abnormal amount of time with your parents. This one is pretty sad, but it's kind of how I think about how fragile life is, which is why I dedicate at least one day a week to hang out with my parents. But in general, if your parents are in their 60s and you only visit them once a year, you're realistically only going to see them about 20 to 24 more times before they're gone. Next, if you don't know where you are, you won't know where you're going. Just like if you come across a business owner that didn't know how much money they were making or spending, you probably wonder, how the heck are they still in business? But when we apply the same idea to ourselves, like what's your income, your expenses, are you saving, are you investing, then that suddenly becomes something you're okay with avoiding. But knowing your numbers is freedom. It's what allows you to live life to the fullest. You can say yes to things. You can say, yes, I'm on track to retire. Yes, I can go on vacation. Yes, I can order garlic parm sauce pizza and Parmesan bites from Domino's tonight because I know my numbers. One way to get clear on your numbers is by using a money map tracker. I have one that you can use for free in my description down below. Next, fiber over protein. 93% of adults do not eat enough fiber. My main focus in my early 20s was to look jacked, right? So my meals were basically ground beef and protein powder. But more studies are coming out showing how important your gut microbiome is to your overall health. And fiber plays a significant role in that. And something I recently learned is you don't have to eat a salad every meal like a rabbit to get your fiber either. The USDA recommends 25 grams of fiber a day for women and 35 grams for men. And life hack, these whole wheat tortillas, 30 grams of fiber for each tortilla. These gummies, 2 gummies, 5 grams.
This thing is
Next, in every job you have, your goal should be either learning or earning. One or the other is fine. Both is best, but next, you need a strong why. Most people have a really hard time sticking to good habits. A wish. Next, stop making your happiness conditional. If you ever said, when I get this promotion, I'll be happy, or when I... Next, nobody gives a crap if you fail or embarrass yourself. You might feel like everyone is watching everything you do, but focus on. Next, the average human lifespan is only 9. Next, nobody gives a crap if you fail or embarrass yourself. You might feel like everyone is watching everything you do, but you are not the main character in other people's lives. Just like you, they're focused on making sure they themselves don't screw up. And even if you do occasionally notice someone doing something embarrassing, like they trip on the sidewalk, I bet you completely forget about it in a couple minutes.
That's true. That's true. It's like, bruh, one thing I've noticed over the years is like, you have to like introduce yourself. Like, you have to pitch yourself, you have to present yourself for them to care about you. You have to make yourself a whole trailer to them. Sometimes, obviously you have friends and stuff like that play the impact, and it's only because maybe you've done something enough to where they keep remembering. But at the end of the day, you have to kind of catch their attention all over again, and that's fine. But one thing I wanted to talk about today, random thoughts, bruh, is just the need for bruh, the hardest part about having discipline is simply doing things we don't want to do. Our flesh, from a biblical point of view, our flesh is very important because it's the one thing that keeps us bounded to earth. We have these things that we cannot control. We have these things that are about us that we cannot replace. And so because of that, we find ourselves very irritated. And very, very, very irritated in the feeling of not doing things that we naturally want to do. So, for example, us, we're doing things we don't want to do. I'm 20, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're just all doing things that we have no necessary care of doing. But we'll get some type of reward at the end of that. So from a biblical point of view, bro, like, whenever you accept the Lord as your Savior, you know what I'm saying, and you choose to accept and acknowledge that His way is the not only important way, but a realistic, better way to live and approach to life, you act on it. I got some friends of mine currently right now, again, I ain't gonna lie. They say they love the Lord, but they don't act like it. They say they love the Lord, but they pick and choose when and what to make realize scripture. You know what I'm saying? They like the idea of one thing, but they don't like the idea of it all. I feel like that's the problem with us as humans. We feel so privileged enough to pick when is it equivalent for us to be obedient to God. When is it okay for us to take the time to be like, oh, you know what? I can do this today. You know what I'm saying? This isn't too crazy. This is something I agree with, and I feel like is is going with the way I want to go. That's not how the world works. The world doesn't work like that. The world works when you're taking the time to say, I know this is something I don't want to do, but I'm going to do it regardless. I mean, because it's for the better of me. Like my boy, bruh, my man be doing all this, like, hoopla about where he's going, right? My boy vape every day. My boy sleeps with his girl every night. He be like, bro, we're not even doing anything. My boy seeing her naked every day. Lustful mind. My boy. And then on top of that, it just allows him to be unfocused about his own individual self and what he needs to do for God. You know what I'm saying? Everything kind of comes. Like, she is his God. Obviously, you love God, but you talk to her more than you talk to him. I mean, obviously, that makes sense, you know, with the world that we live in, but there's also comes a point where it's like, you look at yourself and you're like, nah, I actually don't agree. Like, why am I talking to him just as much, if not more, than my own God? And that's a no-go, bruh. So this lukewarm mentality, this mentality where it's okay, it's not all bad, blah, 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 things like that, gang, like that can't happen. Because you find yourself losing the few things that you wanted for yourself. So that's why I try to say, like, it's mad irritating on that part, because you're supposed to be led in the spirit, and yet you're hypocritical at this point. You want to condemn, or you want to boldly say one thing, but then you don't do it all. And I think that's the biggest thing. So me personally, bruh, I can only look at his flaws as a reminder for me to not be that. A reminder for me, like, okay, this is something that bothers me, so let me continue to do whatever I can to not add to that annoyance, to that lack of discipline. So I just wanted to come on here very shortly and just declare that, and say that I will try my absolute best to remind myself who God has for me and what the end result of that is, that God has something better for me. This feeling of happiness, this feeling of comfortability is cool, but it's not the end all be all, because it doesn't align with God's instruction. Simple as that. I feel like people try to bend too many things, and it's like, gang, please stop. Stop trying to bend normal things into what you feel like is right. And like I said, I'm trying to do that, and bruh, not gonna lie, isolation mode, like I told you. When I'm in isolation mode, bruh, it just means just to really focus on me, bruh. That's really it. I'm not out here blowing people up and cutting niggas off forever. I'm just saying, like, it's a big time for me to really push what I got going, which I've been doing, but just continuing with that. So tonight, I'm going to do my best. I worked on some new designs for Desire to Make It, bro. Here's this one right now. I like this one. So you see this shirt? We're just trying to do something like that. You feel me? So, yes, sir. So, I know it's tough, gang. I know it's tough. So, yeah, I'm just trying to do the best that I can. Get some things popping, bruh. Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, the hard part with the shirts, I've been done. I just gotta simply organize it and just see what I can and cannot do, and everything should be fine. So, you know, I just gotta go at a time to do it. And then, you know, then I'll be benefiting off of the works. Because at the end of the day, I know God has a plan. And again, I'm just saying this. I'm currently, I'm just a regular person, bro. I'm still am, always will be. I'm trying to be led by God, and you know what I'm saying? If this blows up, if you see this later down the road, just know I have my own convictions, but I'm willing to say, despite what's around me, I'm going to continue to be the example that I know is right. Even if no one's around me doing it. The worst part about picking this journey, bro, is you're not always going to have somebody that agrees with you all the time. I would love to have friends that walk in the spirit with me. I don't. I have some friends that take it literal. Bro, I had a friend that's a Bible talker spitter at me. This same nigga was in the city with me with a blunt behind his ear, walking around chilling and talking about, oh my God, bro, I love Jesus, man. Ah, man, I just love God, bro. Like, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, okay, but that's fine. Like I get that. We already knew that. You didn't become close. You have been closer to God at the pulpit or in your individual prayer time than whatever feeling you feel like you're close with him right now in this high state. And he's confirmed and told me that that is actually true. So you might feel close to God in that psychedelic state, but you're also not as close than when you're in your clear sound mind, he's speaking to you directly. So that always used to get me. So I was just like, but I've then sat in my car, you know, drove us all back fine without really mentioning that part to him. And then when we did mention something, like, gang, I ain't gonna lie, this is a weird look. You really went from chilling to now you smoking gas, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are all things that, again, clear, sound mind, sober minded. We're just trying to maintain what was been listed before us. It's hard, bruh. This life ain't easy, bruh. To be a Christian of all things, it takes real life discipline. And sometimes I feel like we don't know how to necessarily use those qualities, but that's what God's going to show us for. So anyway, I just want to talk about that lukewarming real fast. Like, just folks being kind of so lackadaisical about, like, very important decisions.
Power off.
I think that's a sign. I'm going to see y'all, boys.